Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Mother's House Podcast, and I am DeShaun.
Peace to the family. My name is Carey. What's going on with my cousin?
Chilling. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, man. Just got finished with our run.
I know. We are Black Panthered out.
Yeah, Black Panther out. You know, the only person we want to hear is from y'all. That's it.
Right.
You don't want to talk about it no more.
But if y'all want to listen to it, feel free to go back and, check out.
To our discussions.
Yeah, the Black Panther playlist. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But today, we're touching on R&B, rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
Music game. What happened to R&B?
Right. What happened to R&B? So, this is going to be a multi-part series. I don't know how many parts, but it's going to be more than one episode. So, I would love for y'all to join in on the discussion and tell us how y'all really feel, and that's always fun. But if just to give a little background on me, and I think this will help explain where I'm going and where I'm going to start from this whole R&B thing. What happened to R&B thing? The fall of R&B. R&B is dead. All whatever you want to call it. So I'm an R&B artist myself. My first project came out in 2013, yeah. 2012, 2013. Yeah, it was 5 years ago. Right. So, yeah. And it didn't do too well. And I think one of the reasons it didn't do well has a lot to do with the industry in general. And what happened around 2011, 2012, 2013, there was a switch from CDs to streaming. But I would say because you had Spotify, and for a minute, I think the industry was trying to figure out where it was going to land. So you had
2013 2013. So this right after the whole Napster.
Oh yeah, this way after Napster. Napster was like 1999. But I think, but what was about to happen, you was about to get Apple Music, Google Play. A couple of years later, Tidal would come. Like the big streaming services were starting to come, and like legal streaming was coming. And I think record industries were consolidating and things were being moved. Like I almost felt like every other month you heard about Columbia is now Universal, is now Capitol, is now this, is now that. And
top records fell and a lot of artists got lost in there.
Exactly. So I think I like to attribute my unsuccess from my first era. Even though it was a lot of other things going on too. Now I ain't gonna even lie. It was people behind the scenes not doing stuff. But I think because I've noticed a lot of artists didn't happen, even major artists who you thought, no, what happened to so and so career, like a Sierra, A. Marie, and a couple of a lot of people just kind of fell. And I think I like to attribute that to streaming, because I think people didn't really know what to do with streaming. Because when I first came out, I was passing out CDs like right around 2011, 2012. So it's like I knew of streaming, but I didn't know of streaming. And I'm pretty sure me and most other independent artists didn't really know how to get on streaming yet. It was just kind of like this thing that we knew about, and it's cool, like it sounds like it would be cool, but we didn't really know how to approach the streaming thing. And like today, 2018, everything is streaming. Like everybody got some streaming service, at least one.
So do you think streaming make it harder for independent artists to get on?
I think today it makes it a lot easier, because I think the waters have settled and it's a lot calmer now.
Right. They got a mold. They
exactly
find out how to market it and how to push it.
Right.
Okay.
So now it's really easy to get on streaming now. But I think when my first project was coming out, right around. I remember trying to figure out what I was going to do, like, because it was done in 2012. So yeah, it was done in 2012, and I was trying to figure out how to market it and all of that stuff, and how to distribute it. And we ended up going with Sony Red, which is like an independent distributing company, and we ended up doing the CD thing. And I think I was like the last era of the CDs. Like, you know how you back in the day, for all my young listeners, everybody used to pass out CDs. That was like how you got your stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Like, every single artist was passing out CDs. But
yeah, the trunk was the trunk.
Right.
Go to the trunk, pass around your CDs. Go to different markets, go to different cities.
Right. I remember I used to like put them on people's car. I used to just have a bunch in my car, you know?
Right.
So CDs was like the way to go. And I think that was ending. And I think a lot of indie artists kind of didn't know, as well as major artists, as well as record labels. I think the music industry in general just kind of didn't know what to do. It was like a storm almost.
Right.
So I think a lot of people got caught in it, and I think I got caught in it too. And as of today, you know, it's a lot easier to get on streaming sites. Like, I know a couple of people who offer streaming services now. Yeah, it's real easy. Matter of fact, you can go through like Reverb Nation, I believe. Yeah, it's like super easy. It's hella easy. But yeah. So I think the change is what I like to call it. The change from CD to more of a dominant streaming era kind of tripped a lot of people up, a lot of labels up, a lot of artists up in music. And I think it helped shape what we have now. Because, you know, I can't imagine a life without streaming now. It's like, I be streaming all day. Because when I drive my little delivery job, I'm just streaming. From YouTube streaming to Apple Music streaming, you know. So that's how I feel about streaming and R&B.
So do you think that the streaming was the catalyst of R&B falling, or do you think it was before that?
I think it was falling before that. That streaming, I think, affected me more so personally.
Right.
But R&B definitely was going through some things before that. We're going to get into all of that. Because I got a little list of things that I think happened.
Right. Do you think, because, you know, you got more R&B, you got a lot of R&B artists out there who consider themselves R&B.
Right.
Do you think this resurgence of R&B music is coming back?
I do. I think R&B is starting to come back. I do. I think that because it's so much easier now to put out music. And I think at first I think it always was. I just don't think we knew how to use that. It was a tool that I think people didn't really catch on to until, you know, later.
Right.
And not just with like SoundCloud or MySpace, but I'm talking about Apple Music and Google Play and all the little streaming sites. And now you get paid. You can get paid from SoundCloud. You can get paid from YouTube. You can get paid for everything now. Back in the day, it's like if you put something on SoundCloud, you wasn't gonna get paid. Like, that was free. And you know, back in the day, they had stuff like DatPiff and the mixtape sites, live mixtape and stuff like that. And now you can put your mixtape on the streaming sites and get paid for it. So, of course, streaming, the pay is different, very, very, very different compared to selling the CD. But I just think it's the era we live today. The whole digital thing has really just taken over. But streaming affected me personally. R&B in general, I think, was going through some things. Some topics that we're going to talk about in future podcasts include the cost of developing an R&B artist, the instancy of rap, the grind of the rapper, the rise of the singy rapper, the replacements, and the rise of trash. So y'all look forward to all of those. I should be talking about all of those. Yeah, I should have something to say about each of those. Maybe a little bit more. So yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go in this realm
Right.
Try to diagnose what's the issue, why R&B has become unpopular amongst the masses,
right?
For the listeners. Just with that question alone, why do you think a lot of listeners fell off of R&B, wanting to hear R&B and want to hear more of, hip hop or more rap or not traditional R&B? Why do you think that happened? And why do you think that? Or do you think that happened, or do you think it happened because of marketing, or because people just didn't really see it?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think rappers were just kind of a little bit more marketable. I think rappers kind of come off cooler in a sense. I think that rap is an easy genre to find people, I would say.
There was a moment where everybody and their mama wanted to rap. So
right. But I also think that I think people kind of just go with what they hear, even though everybody be like, I don't listen to the radio, I still think what's popular kind of still dominates. If you see what I'm saying, it kind of sets the tone almost. Even if I know a lot of people, like most of us, don't really listen to the radio like that, but the radio still has a strong place in the music market. And
in the psyche of people.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you just ride in the car, or if you at work, like if your friends, your family, I don't know, you at the club, events, like still what's popular is played on the radio, and you may act like you don't know what's going on the radio, but trust me, we all kind of know what's going on. We don't know every single song, those of us who don't listen to the radio, quote unquote, at all, but I think we all can kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even got to listen to the radio to know that Migos on there. Because I can see them on YouTube. I see them on everywhere else on the internet. I see them on Instagram. At this point, it's like, even though radio isn't dominating everything, those people who are on radio are still dominating everything. So
it's not dominating the industry.
Right, exactly. And
do you think that's a label push or lack of interest into indie artists?
I think it's definitely the label. And I think that the labels, they have that machine, you know what I'm saying? That marketing machine, and they have the connections to, because really and truly only a couple of companies own all of this media. So they have the connections to put you here, put you there, put you in my face all the time. That's why I say, even though I may not hear you on the radio, I still know who you are. Whether I saw you on a reality show, or whether I saw you here, saw you there. And then I think there still is, because we do have a lot of indie R&B artists as well as major R&B artists who I always find new people on like streaming sites and stuff. So I do think there is still a desire to hear R&B. It's definitely still there. But I think you more so have to find it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who are listening to R&B aren't really stumbling across it. They're like going to get it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to rap, it's like you can stumble upon some rap, because rap is kind of, it's
in your face.
Yeah, it's a little bit more in your face.
A little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. It's being pushed a little harder, I think, than R&B.
Now, with that being said, do you think that when you say that labels definitely does have a play in that, but what point did you really feel like R&B might be dying, y'all? You know what I'm saying? And R&B's on life support right now. Like, what era can you pinpoint that felt that?
I think I didn't think R&B was dying right around 05, 06, 07, 08, but I could tell the music was shifting fast. because record labels, record sales were falling like drastically.
Yeah.
So I didn't know or anticipate R&B, being hit the hardest. But I knew something was going to happen. I was like, well, damn. At one point, they were selling 10, 15 million albums. Now they selling 1, 2, 3 million albums. And that's like great. And then that turned into, now they selling 500,000 copies. Now they selling 20,000 copies. Like, it just kept falling and falling and falling. Like, every year, you have like that one artist, like in Adele or somebody random.
Will do some astronomical numbers,
right? But
regular numbers if you go back to the 90s, but astronomical numbers now because people don't buy music like that no more.
Right, exactly. Which I get because, like, I get the stream. I enjoy streaming. I love going on, Apple Music or YouTube and being able to find just about whatever song I'm thinking about. I think that's the dopest thing in the world. So I don't want to sound like I'm mad at streaming, but I do think I'm a casualty of streaming. I'll say that.
Do you feel a little bit of bitterness to it?
No, not towards streaming.
Probably towards hip hop.
Not even towards hip hop, because I don't really blame hip hop, because I don't feel like hip hop killed R&B. At least not on purpose. I don't think hip hop is the reason for the demise, at least not the sole reason for the demise of R&B, because R&B kind of has some responsibility of its own in its demise as well. And and it's all about what the people want, even if the people are being told what they want, but it is all about what they want. So if they don't want to listen to R&B, they don't want to listen to R&B. So.
Yeah, true. I don't know how I feel about, I can't really pinpoint what. I can't really pinpoint. I always listen to R&B. Always, like, no matter what era.
Right. I mean, I did too, because I always listen to whatever era. Like, I'll listen to, like, the 90s era, the 70s, the 80s, the early 2000s, and that's one thing I like about streaming, is helping me find these new artists. So I definitely don't hate streaming, because I found a lot of new artists, and even from when I was doing my radio show, that's another thing I noticed, is that there are just so many artists out here, y'all. Like,
yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, because for those who don't know, I used to do this internet radio show, and I would just send out a message on like Craigslist or Twitter or Facebook, and I would get hit up and from tons of artists. That's some were on the streaming sites, some weren't on the streaming sites. Just tons of people just emailing me their stuff. So it's definitely still a lot of great artists out here. So it's not because it's a shortage of artists. That's for sure. But yeah, it's just different stuff. It's a complicated thing. It's not R&B just sucked. It's not
black and white.
It's not black and white. It's a discussion.
It is. So let's scale it back. All right. In the 90s, around 99, 2000s, hip hop, was changing. Music changed. Music changed and evolved. R&B tried to change and evolve. What was the sound of R&B around that time? Was it more? It became more pop, wasn't it?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
It got kind of popish. It got kind of popish, but it was also hip hopish too. Like 99 2000 was good for R&B. I would say the fall started happening in like late 2000s. Like
2006, 2007, 2008.
Yeah, that's when it started to like kind of, because I felt like rap was rising even higher than it already was. At least in sales and success. if not in like, some people be like, rap was better in the golden age and blah blah blah, but when it comes to just like the success of rap, it kept growing in my opinion, and still is growing in my opinion. But I think R&B it started to kind of slow down, and then you started to see
it was like, you heard less and less
right
artists,
right,
and more hip hop artists, and that's what these media outlets were pushing more
right.
so than.
And I think
in the artists that was out there, because there were artists out there,
right? And I think you started seeing the same couple of people, and I think those same couple of people kind of had to do hip hop or pop because they had to stay alive. They had to kind of evolve with the times to still be here today. They couldn't just stick to one. And I don't have a problem with that because I love when artists do different things. But I did notice that people were kind of morphing their style into what it had to be to survive, I felt. But I think with R&B, I don't think a lot of people were able to do that.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
That's interesting. I'm just kind of listening and getting your brain on it. Like, when I think of like around the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, I think I was heavy into, Cash Money.
Right. And then, yeah, Cash Money was life back then.
It was big.
It was huge.
But huge.
But that's back when record labels still were powerful. I think
it was still powerful, yeah.
It's like labels just had to cut. Like, they ain't making money like that. They don't know what's going on. We ain't selling CDs. We ain't selling albums. The streaming shit is taking over. We don't know where we gonna fit in. So we just got to cut. And I think a lot of R&B got to cut.
Because they knew that sound that people that's not selling as much as hip hop,
Right.
Do you think that when it comes to R&B, do you think that musicians, R&B artists, have started abandoning that sound and start turning more into the rap and the trap sound and turning away from the traditional R&B? Do you think is the issue traditional R&B is not popular, or is it R&B as a whole is not popular?
I think as a whole, but then it goes to what you think traditional R&B is and what you don't, because it's people in genres now who I never would have thought was R&B. I never thought Drake was R&B.
He's R&B? They say he's R&B?
I mean, they be playing him at night and stuff. That girl Drizzy, I never thought Drizzy was R&B.
I never heard of her.
She's from Chicago. She sang that little song of "Your Body on My Body, Baby." I don't know. But
that song. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I ain't never heard of her.
But yeah, they're just artists who, I don't know. It's different. It's a couple of more artists too who I was like, damn, they R&B. And I was like, I never thought that would have been called R&B.
Now, how do you feel about the singing rap scene? Where you got rappers who sing you got melodic rappers, basically.
Right.
And that's been around for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Ja Rule has championed that, or Nelly has championed that, you know what I'm saying? So it's been around.
Right.
So, and they was around while R&B was in the mix. And, hip hop and R&B go hand in hand a lot of times.
Yeah, most definitely.
What would you say the issue today with so many artists doing the same thing? 'Cause that's my only gripe when I hear so much, rappers and singing, that everybody pretty much going to do it.
Well, the first thing I want to say is, if you're an artist, you should do what you want to do to express yourself.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say you shouldn't sing or you shouldn't rap. You do what you want to do.
You express yourself how you feel.
Right, most definitely. But I do feel like the singing rap thing eliminated the need for R&B. I felt it didn't.
I didn't feel that way because I don't listen to them jokers neither. But continue.
It didn't totally replace it, but I think because the industry was shrinking and they just didn't have space to really like, okay, like instead of, you know, getting a singer on this, I'm gonna just sing myself because, you know, I can sing too as a melodic rapper, quote unquote. That's me speaking as a Rich Homie Quan or whoever you want to put in there.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, I think rappers just kind of got more, you know, more skilled. To be honest, they kind of just started doing their own thing, and I think it was easier, you know, for labels too. I just think it was easier across the board. Like, we ain't gotta go and pay no R&B guy, find the R&B guy. You know, if you can get in there and sing a little bit, we can auto tune that thing, fix them notes, and people into that, they think it sound cool. And I think that's how it kind of started. But then it went to like motherfuckers started just singing, rapping like whole entire songs. So yeah.
Now, let's pull back towards your type of style of music. What would you say your sound is from? Or not from, but what would you call your sound? And now, don't put yourself in a box like I'm a traditional R&B genre or I'm this, not that, because I know you don't do that. But if somebody was to hear some of your music, like, what would you think they would pull from it?
I always
R&B artist. And why do you consider yourself an R&B artist?
I always consider myself the root of what I do is traditional R&B.
Right.
So I can hop in some pop, country, rock, rap, hip hop, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm feeling, but the root of me is R&B, and I say that because that's what I started out singing. That's what touched me the most. You know,
right.
That's just kind of who I am. That's, you know, the people I look up to are R&B artists. I think that has a lot to do with it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like voice. Like, I'm R&B. And I think my sound, the root of my sound is R&B. Now, someone can argue like, no, that's pop. No, that's this. No, you singing, rapping. Like, you can argue that. You know
right.
what I'm saying? But I think the root of what I do is R&B.
Okay. So, in the discussion that we're having today, you know, in the lights of R&B, the unpopular or the slow burn of R&B today, why do you think it's a slow burn today? Why do you think that people have to go find R&B acts, or if they're not being pushed on the radio? Why do you think the radio is not playing R&B? Do you think it's the energy that people don't want it anymore? I think we touched on that, but I want to delve a little bit more into it. Or do you think it's like propaganda push to separate, you know, genders and emotions, and separate, you know, the quality that, because, you know, R&B is kind of based off of, you know, romance and love,
right,
all these different things, man and woman relationships, you know,
right.
You know, you don't really hear R&B too much played in the club like that. And if it's played in the club, it's going to definitely be, you know, Sway Lee crooning,
right.
You know, crooning, you know, or crooning rapper like Drake. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the focus thing you want to get today. If you're not looking for it, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to just go to the club and hear it, that's pretty much what you're going to get. That's it. So, what do you think is the motivation of them separating or not playing R&B, traditional R&B on the radio anymore, or in the clubs?
I think it could be a lot of things. If we could dig into some conspiracy theories, some people may say because they may be doing more controlling with rap and trying to make a certain mindset with rap, a certain energy with rap. Some people can say that because, you know, people think a lot of the rap that's played on the radio is dumb music. You know, I'm not the first who said that, so don't get mad at me. Get mad at the people who say it. A lot of people may consider a lot of the music that's played on the radio like a low vibration, quote unquote. I've heard that a ton of times.
I heard that before, yeah.
Right. So not to say that R&B is like, you know,
a higher vibration.
Not just a higher vibration, but just like what your ears need to live a great life. But go ahead.
I was about to say, I think R&B and the hip hop, you know, it's not about like hip hop is really like hip hop in the gist of things. It's not, or rap music. Let's talk about rap, because hip hop is a culture. Hip hop is art. Hip hop is style. All that different stuff, right? So rap today, especially the things that they play on the radio, it's like a lower vibration type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Where R&B used to be on a mutual vibration where men and women can enjoy it. You know, now everybody enjoys, and not saying women don't enjoy rap, but you know, everybody enjoys rap today.
Right.
And the thing is, it's not equally yoked or equally balanced in the sound sonically. And we got to get back to where everything is equal and mutual. You know what I'm saying? To get an overall balance, because you can't just sit there and just listen to trap music all day, or sit there and go, well, you can if you want. That's the vibration you're flowing on. But I think with the industry push of it, I think they're trying to snuff out. If you want to go deeper into it, they're trying to somewhat snuff out the male and female relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're trying to snuff out the connection that men and women share mutually in a place of love, from a place of love.
So are you saying that the promotion of today's rap and the I guess the neglect of R&B is an attack on the black family?
It can be considered that. It can. But also you got rap artists like, you know, J. Cole. He got a song, his last album, he got a song, you know, dedicating, you know, his conviction and love for his woman. He folding clothes. People hate that song. They hate that album.
I like folding clothes.
I love the song too. But you know, a lot of brothers hate that song. It seems soft. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But I don't get why dudes feel like they gotta be. See, me, I'm the type of person, you know, if I'm listening to music, I'd rather hear a woman sing than I do hearing a dude sing. I'd rather hear an R&B track than I quit to go to a hip hop track, because you know. Because I like to get into especially when I'm a man that, you know, searching for his queen, searching for his wife, searching for his love. You know what I'm saying? I can't be on that nigga energy all day. You know what I'm saying? I can't be, oh man, get this money, get this money, get this money. I need that motivation too. But at the same time, you know, I think them pushing that so heavy is the reason why you've seen a lot of, you know, separation between black men and black women, and it falls on, it's multiple layers that why that's happening, and it stems back way beyond, you know, R&B and hip hop and all that.
Right.
But in the grand schemes of just putting a blinder on to the music that we listen to, and you know, music reflects what's going on in people's lives today.
Right.
When you look straight at that, you can't tell me that, you know, the push from these record execs and record companies is not destructive to the man and black woman connections to each other. You know what I'm saying? Because when I used to listen to, you know, Shy, or listen to Tony Tone, or you listen to hell, I can throw some new artists out there, Oshun, Georgia, what her name, Georgia Smith, or Abra, you know what I'm saying, or you know, all these different new R&B artists. I get a sense like I feel happy, I feel positive, I feel amped up. Like I want to go meet some women and get to know them and get to try to understand them. So, you know, I'm on this love energy.
Right.
Now we on this, you know, grind energy. Get this money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I definitely think rap is definitely, because music sets the vibe for an era.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't help but notice a different vibe, you know, when the music is nothing but a certain thing, and heavily a certain thing. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, music is marketing. Music ain't nothing but marketing. And, you know, there's a message in everything. And this is just the truth. Like, the people who are pushing certain things, they're doing it for a reason. It's not just money. Like, I believe that all day. Now, whatever their agenda is, you know, who knows? But I definitely know that if anything's being pushed, it's being pushed for a certain reason, especially media.
Exactly. Media always have an agenda behind it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the vibe is kind of, it's a little cold. Do you think?
Yeah, very cold.
Yeah, it is a little cold. It is.
That's why, you know, a lot of brothers be like, why do you women tripping? And you got women like, you niggas ain't shit. Very separation between black men and black women. Like, you know, I know a lot of dudes who do not know how to talk to women.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of dudes who be like, I don't feel comfortable talking to these women like that. I need to talk to y'all first before I go talk to them. Some dudes have to talk around their brothers before they even get the nerve to go talk to a woman, which is kind of strange for me. And I get it, insecurity and all these different things, but maybe it's the music that you're vibing off to 24/7. Maybe the music that you're vibing to is not getting you to approach your, you know, sincere side. You know what I'm saying? And getting you to the point where you can have an open dialogue with another person, period. That's what a woman is. She's a person. You can have a casual conversation with. I think, you know, and then this whole notion that, you know, a lot of guys have, I got to appeal to my brothers before I appeal to a woman. I got to get the acceptance of my brothers before I get the acceptance of a woman. And bring it back around to the music game. You know, all hip hop is talking about. If you just looking at what's going on the radio, or you're not listening to a Kendrick because you think Kendrick is too conscious. You're not listening to a J. Cole because J. Cole is too soft. You're not listening to a J.I.D. because he's too far out there. You're not listening to a Drake because you really think he's soft and corny. So you find yourself in a place where you gravitate towards a lower vibration, where women, they gathering amongst themselves and they vibing on a whole different frequency because they listen to something totally different. And it's like our vibration is not equally yoked because the music is not equally yoked.
Right. So yeah, I think we all notice that something's different in the music, in the vibe, in the feel, you know, in the air. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, you know, I don't want to go too far. I feel like Drake. I feel like Drake is kind of like. I feel like he is kind of like today's R&B, because I feel like girls look at him like he's an R&B artist.
They do. Yeah, they do.
And it's more than just like a LL Cool J, because, you know, LL Cool J was kind of like a ladies rapper too, but it's like they really look at him like he's R&B. So yeah.
And not Childish Gambino.
I think Childish Gambino is R&B.
Yeah.
He proved that with his last album. Like, that was an R&B album.
That album was amazing.
That was a great album, yeah.
It was an amazing album.
And again, I don't want to stop. Like, if a rapper want to sing, God damn it, you sing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stop anybody from expressing themselves. So,
right.
But just observing.
Just observing, outside observing. Right. So you're not looking forward to the new Drake album?
You know what? I don't look forward to a lot of things. But I mean, not really. And it's not because like I like Drake. I'm just not that into him.
Drake, but,
and Drake doesn't. I think Drake is very talented, but I don't see a lot of difference in his music to me.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. A Drake fan could probably crush me and argue me down with that. But to me, it's not, because when your music sounds the same all the time, like, I don't see why I should be excited for a new project from you if your lead singles sound like something I already heard. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Right.
But
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But
everybody else is, though, you know, singles, you know, doing great. So shout out to Drake.
Shout out to Drake. All the other R&B artists that's out here now. I think we should all go check out some of these R&B artists that's out here doing it now. You know, show them a little support, show them a little bit of love, show them that the need of R&B is still out there. You know what I mean? I think R&B and hip hop, I think they all have their role and have their place. You know what I'm saying? All vibrations gotta vibrate. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to have a form of an expression. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whatever they're going through or whatever they're dealing with or wherever they're at in their life. And I think right now we're in a place in our life where we're surrounded by, you know, racism, prejudice, you know, mass incarceration. And then a lot of us not even vibrate on that. We focus on those things. We focus on trying to get to the next day, get to the next paycheck. You know, so we gotta find our place where we can balance. I also listen to not just R&B or hip hop. I listen to like binary beats, you know, meditation beats. I listen to, you know, reggae. I turn to Damian Marley quick all the time. I listen to him a lot. I listen to Bob Marley. Sometimes I pop in a Fela Kuti. I go far back as that. I mean, I think when it comes to what happened to R&B, it's so many different factors that come into play that you can't really pinpoint the exact moment. Right. But you can pinpoint when you felt the yearn for R&B. Because I think the yearn is back. I think people want to hear more R&B now. You know, if you listen to this recent Black Panther album, the best song on there to me is an R&B track. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me, but I think from what I listen to other people's views, that's their favorite track too. You know what I'm saying? So people are yearning for that sound again and that feeling and that emotion. You know, I think with us becoming more woke, we're pulling away from faith, we're pulling away from religion, we're pulling away from traditions, traditional way of thinking, you know, to the point where it's even reflective in our music. So that whole thought of having hope and love and positive and optimism in our music, and even in R&B today, the music is very dark. You know what I'm saying? The music is not optimistic. Sound is not positive. I think, you know, we got to tap into those things too. Why is that? And that's really due to the pain that people are feeling today. You know what I mean? The pain a lot of these artists are feeling, how they gotta express themselves, you know, to convey a message or convey a feeling or emotion. And that's another thing. I think a lot of music don't really have that emotion today. But that's just my 2 cents into it. But we want to dive more deeply into it. Right. So in the next couple of days, we'll, you know, cover some more things because we can't put everything in one podcast. Bro, we be here for 4 hours. Right. But I look forward to sharing it with y'all. So tell me what y'all think. What do y'all think happened to R&B? Tell me what y'all think about everything we said, you know. If you want to comment, start an argument, you know. I would love to hear what the people got to say. Yeah, I'm really interested. To hear what y'all have to say. But let's go ahead and close it out. So y'all, thank y'all for listening. If y'all like what we're saying, if you don't like what we're saying, comment in the comment section. Let's build there. Let's squad up in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that like button especially because that will help our videos grow, help us be more visible for you all to see. And until next time, peace.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And the one that there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.